Hello, Dinky here to do a review for you on the game Braid for the Xbox 360. Braid is a platform/puzzle video game developed by independent software developer Jonathan Blow. He was on a trip to Thailand whenever he came up with the idea for Braid in December 2004. During the game's 3 years of development, Jonathan put in $180,000 of his own money into its development. So I'm glad to see that it paid off, and I'm sure he made well more than that back. This game was released on August 6, 2008 for Xbox 360's Xbox Live Arcade for 1,200 Microsoft points, which is around $15. Alright, enough of that, let's see some of the game. This game begins with your character Tim running across a bridge into a house with 7 separate rooms. Each of these rooms leads to a unique world, and in these worlds there's time-based mechanics that govern these worlds. These time-based mechanics can be used, I'll talk about them later in this review, to solve puzzles and overcome obstacles that you're going to run into in each world. After you enter each room, there's a series of books that explains the story behind the game. The story is a huge part of this game, and for that reason I'm not going to go over it in this review. I don't want to spoil anything since you haven't played the game yet. But it's definitely a good story and really pertains to the style of this game. So I think everyone will enjoy it. One of the things that I liked most about this game is its style. There aren't many games that you can play through and you really feel the style of the game. There are so many things unique about this game, with the time-based mechanics, the hand-drawn artwork by David Hellman, the soundtrack is excellent, and it's a 2D game that everything just merges perfectly for. You can see that I'm collecting puzzle pieces throughout this stage. Your objective is to complete puzzles in order to get a puzzle piece so that you can complete the final puzzle for each room. Now, it's not to the point where you're going to get frustrated on a puzzle and have to complete it to progress through the game. Like if you have a problem on one puzzle, you could skip it and then you could still get to the next worlds, but you have to come back and complete that puzzle in order to get to the final stage of this game. Let's take a look at the difficulty curve on this game. This is one of the easiest levels you're going to find in the game, and it's before you really get any of the time-based mechanics to use. Each time you enter a world, you're going to find a new time-based mechanic that's going to help you solve the puzzles. And you start out, and a lot of the puzzles will be really easy to kind of help you learn how to use that mechanic and make sure you can know what you can do with it. And as you get to the ends of the worlds, they start getting a lot more difficult. Now, I got a little bit frustrated in some of the puzzles in this game, but overall, I would say the puzzles aren't extremely difficult. You might have some trouble with them the first time or two through, and it helps to just leave and come back. And whenever you come back, you see it in a different way, and it's a lot of times you'll just figure it out real quickly. But there are also some puzzles where you can't beat them the first time through the world. So, I mean, the game kind of helps you out with not getting frustrated, not getting stuck on puzzles, because you can progress to the next world and then come back to it. So that's a real nice, it makes it a little bit more relaxed than a frustrating puzzle game. Next, I'd like to explain a little bit about the time-based mechanics that take place during this game, and that's pretty much the main feature of this game. It's really what makes it unique and such a great game. The first and probably main one is being able to rewind time. Now, as you're watching, I fall into this pit, and normally I would be stuck down there. But since I could rewind time to before I fell into the pit and bring the key with me. Here's another look at a puzzle that I had to use the rewind for. Another cool thing about being able to rewind time is that you can prevent yourself from dying. If you hit spikes, or if you run into an enemy, you can rewind time till before that event even took place. I mean, seriously, how many times have you wanted to jump down onto spikes just to get an item that fell down there? Well, finally you could do it in this game, and with no consequence at all. This level demonstrates a very interesting game mechanic as well. Whenever your character moves to the right, time moves forward, and whenever your character moves to the left, time moves backwards. So you need to use this in order to get the enemies into place so that you can use them properly to complete the puzzle. So, did you happen to catch the obvious Donkey Kong reference? This is another cool time mechanic called a time ring. Whenever you drop this ring, it warps the flow of time around itself. So the things that are closer to this ring move slower in time than things farther away from it. So you can place it in one spot to make things move slow in order to solve the puzzles. I won't go into too much detail because once you use it, you'll have a lot of fun with it. And yes, this game's even got a couple boss fights. And here's another funny reference. I'm sorry, your princess is in another castle, says the dinosaur at the end of the world. So in conclusion, I definitely think this was a great game. I would give it a 10 out of 10, and for only $15, it's well worth your money, and I think you'll definitely enjoy it. So go out and buy it, and let me know what you think about it. Alright, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out my channel for future reviews.